Hello, Fitme family. I'm super excited to give you your kickoff message for the week. We're going to keep going on our topic of nutrition basics. And we've talked about protein, we've talked about carbs, we've talked about fat, we've talked about alcohol, and today we are going to talk about your good old friend, fiber. And fiber is an important one, and I don't want you to be like, oh, I don't need to hear about this. You do. This is really important. Again, the more information you have about nutrition choices, the more empowered those choices are, and the more you can understand about how your body works. And what I would like to call them is like BS goggles, right? Like when we put on our BS goggles because we've actually learned things about nutrition and we can make really great choices for ourselves, then when people are throwing the BS at us, it just hits the goggles. It doesn't actually get in our eyes. And so this is a really good piece of that because fiber is a super important part of your nutrition. So first off, let's talk about why you need fiber in your diet. So first off, fiber, which this is the one you probably know because you've probably seen commercials for years around like fiber yogurt and stuff and how it impacts your digestion. So fiber impacts your digestion and it impacts your overall like bowel movements. It actually adds bulk to your stool, right? So if you are a loose stool person, you might need more fiber. If you are a stuck person, you might actually need less fiber. So fiber impacts our digestive system, mostly in a good way. And so it does promote regular bowel movements when we include dietary fiber into our routine. The other thing that it does is it impacts your blood sugar control. So foods that are high in fiber can slow down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. And so, when they say like all carbs are created equal, maybe not, because sometimes carbs that are paired with fiber actually absorb slower and have a lesser impact on our blood sugar, which is again really important if you are working on losing body fat or if you have health numbers that you're trying to impact, especially ones around pre-diabetic or diabetic, then this really, really matters. You need fiber in your diet and it slows that absorption. But just from a like how it feels standpoint, like think about how it feels when you consume sugar. It's absorbed super quickly and then you experience that crash. When we have foods with fiber, it actually slows that down and we don't experience quite that big crash and burn from sugar. High fiber foods also help you manage your weight. And so they tend to make you feel more full, right? And satisfied. And ultimately, in the day, when you're trying to lose weight, we're trying to create a small calorie deficit, right? 300 to 500 calories. And if we are somebody who overeats or struggles with cravings or just tends to not quite be able to stick to a serving size, then having fiber in your nutrition will give you that more satisfied feeling and it will help you to slow down. And so that can be very helpful for managing your weight. Fiber can also be important for heart health. And so it actually can impact your cholesterol levels. It can contribute to healthy blood vessels, all sorts of cool stuff around your cardiovascular system. And then last, fiber can actually impact how your body absorbs nutrition. It doesn't block it, but it can help increase it. And so, when you have a diet that incorporates fiber, you are overall improving your digestion, you're improving your ability to manage your weight, you are impacting your blood sugar, you're impacting your cardiovascular health, and your nutrient absorption. So there's a bunch of reasons why we should care about fiber, right? And most of the time we're like, oh, fiber, boring. We actually need to care. So as we're practicing flipping over labels and we're looking at things and we're like protein, carbs, fat, sugar, calories, serving size, all that great stuff. Also, fiber is a great one to look at. Does this food have any fiber? Is it a part of the food or has it been added? Not necessarily saying added fiber is bad, but it's just something to consider. So how much fiber do you need per day? Typically, the adult range that's recommended is 25 to 38 grams per day of dietary fiber. So if you're tracking in MyFitnessPal, fiber is one of the things that's tracked in there. So you can see how much fiber you're getting in your day. And you can know that, hey, like I'm eating a lot of foods that are like, have no fiber in them. And if I start to introduce them, it's going to impact your satiety, so how satisfied you are by food, your digestion, your blood sugar, your weight, and ultimately your overall nutritional health. And so where do we find foods that have fiber? Okay, so here are some of the best places to find fiber and to incorporate them. So one is whole grains. And so you can see if you flip over, if you're going to buy bread, and you're like, we're having bread, one of the things you can do is flip it over and say, which one has more fiber? The one with more fiber has more nutritional value for you. So whole grains are a place you can find fiber. If we're talking about more whole foods, then we can look at fruits. So fruits are actually a great place to consume fiber, and that's one of the reasons why juice is a little less awesome for our body, because a lot of that fiber is gone. And so we're basically just drinking the sugar and the fructose, but we're not getting the fiber in it. So again, we've sped up the absorption instead of slowed it down. And so fiber in fruit is awesome. And berries, so raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, pears, apples, oranges, bananas. Berries in general are like the fiber guys. And so I like berries as something to incorporate daily into your nutrition for fiber as the primary reason. So some vegetables are also high in fiber. So for example, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, artichokes, green beans, and then leafy greens, those also have fiber in them. I mean, if you think about it, you're like, that makes sense. You know, when I eat those, it tends to add bulk to my like poop, right? It adds like that. And you can see how like there's fibrous, you know, things in there. Some nuts and seeds also have fiber. So almonds, chia seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, avocados can be a great source of fiber. And, you know, there are some more processed foods, again, like around like bread, but there are brand cereals. There are other like bars that have fiber added in. So if you're on the go, you can look for something like that if you know you need more fiber. And so the point is that I want you to be thinking about how to incorporate routine fiber into your nutrition. And so maybe again, it's something as simple as having some berries, having some avocado, making sure you're getting some leafy greens, and deliberately thinking, okay, this is going to provide these benefits for my body. And if you have no clue how much fiber you're taking in, I would highly recommend doing a food journal of the things that you consume most. So I'm not even worried about you like doing an everyday, all day food journal. I think if you just went to your greatest hits, like these are the things I eat pretty routinely. Like take a look at your grocery list, for example. These are the things I'm buying. Are any of those things rich in fiber? And if not, then it's time to start incorporating them for all the reasons that I suggested. It's funny because I actually have a distinct memory of being in Weight Watchers and fiber being one of the things that impacted the overall amount of points you could eat. And that's how impactful it is on your weight loss goals, is because fiber actually adds so much value to your nutrition in so many different ways that in Weight Watchers, they encouraged you to have it as a part of the point system. I don't know if they still do, but I just wanted to point out that memory from that season. But really what I want you guys to think about is, one, we want to know how nutrition impacts our body in a positive way, in a negative way, and what kind of things need to be in our routine. How do we build this in, and like why? And we're thinking to ourselves, okay, well, I need to make sure I'm getting some fiber. Like, or hey, my poop's not awesome. Hey, maybe I'm missing some fiber. Hey, I've been having tons of cravings lately. I never feel satisfied. Maybe I'm missing some fiber in my diet. Or, you know, now you can kind of think about it as starting to problem solve and peel back your own layers when you're experiencing things that you might otherwise categorize as lack of discipline or not motivated, or, you know, I just have a sugar tooth, maybe, or maybe you are missing fiber in your diet. And so hopefully this was helpful. I wanted to give you a little bit of a background of what fiber does for our body and some great sources to have it. So again, highly encourage you to take this prompt, do a greatest hits food journal. So the things you consume most often, put them in your food journal. Take a look at fiber in particular, see which ones are rich in fiber, which ones aren't. And then if you are missing some, then let's start to incorporate it. And if you aren't sure how much fiber you need, reach out to your coach, talk about it this week, and figure out, you know, how does fiber impact you, and do you need to add more? There's nothing wrong with adding a fiber supplement. Okay, so if you needed to add a little bit to your coffee or something, there's definitely fiber powder you can add, but that, just like anything, is a supplement. It is not a replacement for getting it from real nutrition. And so I want to encourage you to do that. And then if you want to supplement on top of it, go for it. So let me know if this topic was helpful. Get that fiber, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, Fitme fam.